This video is going to explain the most important statuses that everybody in your organization should be aware of. Status of an order obviously is really important, and it tells you a lot of information about how far you are from completing the order still. So I'm going to start by creating a brand new order. So if I go and I create a brand new order, let's say for my customer Acme company, we're going to notice that the order status is currently in new. Something else to point out is that there are no legs for this order yet. So that's an important thing to know. Orders do not have legs until the order has made it to book status. And we're going to show how we get there. So I'm going to create this order now. Let's say we're going from this location to the fulfillment center, and we're picking up today, and we're moving some stuff. I'm just creating the most basic order. I'm creating the most basic order so that I can click the next button in the top right corner. So if you notice, the order briefly went into a quoting status. That's just letting you know that Rose Rocket's rating engine is running. And the status that appears next is going to be no quote or quoted. This order went to no quote status, and that's because I haven't set up any tariffs to auto rate for Acme Company, and that's okay. So if you do have tariffs set up, there's other videos on that, and if you do have those tariffs set up, a rate might have populated here, and it would go right to quoted status. I'm going to show you how we go from no quote to quoted status without tariffs. So if you don't have tariffs, you're obviously going to want to create manual spot quotes. So to do that, I'm going to now just quickly add a all-in rate for this order. What we're going to notice is that the order has now moved from no quote to quoted status. And that's because we actually have a rate here. So if you ever see orders in no quote status, it means nobody has actually put any revenue on the order yet. Once a quote is created, the order is going to be in quoted status, but this is not a confirmed rate. In order to confirm the rate, users have to select the quote, and that moves it into a pending status, which is going to be in very briefly until somebody clicks confirm. So just to recap there, we went from new to no quote to quoted to booked. And what happened when the order went to book status is a new section appears inside the order details page, and it's called the legs of the order. The legs have their own status. In this case, this one is available. And available means that nobody has been planned yet, and nobody has been dispatched on this particular shipment. So I'm going to quickly go through the dispatching. So I'm just going to assign Rocket Express as the carrier. And I'm going to say Rocket Express is going to charge me $3,500 to move this. So what we notice right now is that the leg is still available, but we know that the carrier Rocket Express has been planned on this. Available status is important because that tells me that Rocket Express doesn't know about this yet. They've not yet been dispatched. So to dispatch them, you just click Send Manifest to Carrier. And what this is going to do is it's going to take you to a page where if you've auto-populated a dispatch email associated with their account, it would appear here. I'm going to just put my email in there. And by taking those steps, we can see that the leg status has now been changed to dispatched. So the order status is still booked, but the leg status is dispatched. I'm going to now mark this order as being picked up. So I'm going to click on Pick Up. It's going to ask for the driver's in and out time. I'm going to click Complete, and two statuses have changed. The order status is now in transit, and the leg status is picked up. Next, I'm going to click on the Deliver button, I'm going to click complete. And here we see that the order status is delivered and the leg status is also delivered. Last but not least, when the order is ready to be invoiced, somebody's going to create an invoice for the order. So I'm going to click create invoice. They would, of course, save and send this to the customer. If I go back now, I'm going to leave the invoice details page. We can see that the order status has moved to invoice sent. The leg status hasn't changed because it's now done. There's no invoicing happening on the leg per se. The invoicing is happening on the specific order. Eventually, this order is going to get marked as paid. So if I click mark as paid here, confirm, the order is going to change to invoice paid status. I showed you all of these changes from the order details page. I'm going to go through them again really quickly, but from the orders list. And the reason why I want to do it from the orders list is because you're not going to be spending all of your time staring at one order. I just did it from here because I wanted you to see how the order status, the leg status interacted. If I go back to the orders list now, you're going to notice that there is a column for the order status and there's a column for the leg status. So this order looks just like the order that we started with and I dispatched through. We also notice that there's another order here in no quote status, and it says there's no legs. Remember, there's no legs because the order legs don't exist until the order gets to book status. We have another order here that is in quoted status. So I'm going to now take this order that has made it to book status, and I want you to see how it looks when you've assigned it to a carrier. So all I did here was assign the leg to a carrier. I have not yet dispatched it yet. So the reason why I call this out is because this just tells you that Rocket Express has been planned. They've not actually been dispatched yet, so they don't know that they've been given this dispatch. They haven't received the important documentation like the rate con and the bills of lading, things like that. So what happens when I click send manifest to carrier? Remember that the leg status changes to dispatched. So now this order shows dispatched to Rocket Express. You can probably guess what's going to happen next, so I'm going to kind of move through those statuses quickly. When I mark the order as picked up, the order status is going to change to in transit. Let's close this so you can see it. The order is now in transit. Because there was an important status change, the order moved to the very top of the list here. The leg status shows picked up. When I mark the order as delivered, the order status is going to be delivered and the leg status is going to be delivered. When somebody goes to create an invoice, which I'm going to do right again here, let's just save and send this to myself quickly. If I go back to the orders list, we now see that this order is in invoice sent status. Leg is still delivered. Eventually, the order is going to be paid for. Invoice is now paid. And here you can see that the order status now shows invoice paid.